Hello and welcome to Off the Tracks, your number one podcast right here on YouTube. This is episode 6. This is the 3rd of January. Happy New Year. We do hope you had an awesome Christmas, and we do hope this new year brings you joy and laughter and everything that pretty much you want to do in 2020. 2020, man. Crazy. Insane. Hopefully 2020 is going to bring us lots of theme parking. I'm looking forward to the most. We're going back to Europa Park. Cannot wait. We've got
forward to it.
Oh mate, tell me about it. We've got obviously Alton Towers, Chessington World Adventure, Thorpe Park. We've got Gulliver's Kingdom coming up soon. There's tons of stuff what's coming up in this year of 2020. Anyway, enough of me babbling on. And right in front of me now we do have Lewis. Lewis, how are we today? I've seen today you have brought me. What are they, Smarties?
Yes, they are Smarties.
How are you anyway, mate?
Well, obviously, I'm here. And today's been alright actually.
Yeah, it's been alright.
Played on some of my presents because it was my birthday a couple of days ago.
It was indeed. Happy birthday. Also, I forgot to mention to my dad on last week's podcast, a very happy birthday to you as well. You turned 21. So happy birthday, Dad, on that 27th. And you've just celebrated your birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
14. Wow.
I'm getting old.
Damn, you are getting old. Anyway, welcome to Off the Tracks. What are our discussions today?
Okay.
What are our subjects?
Our first subject is one we haven't really talked about, even though we have talked about that theme park, which was Derren Brown.
Derren Brown. Derren Brown goes straight. I always get told off by Phil, one of my best mates. He always says to me, he's like, Danny, it's not Darren, it's Derren. So Derren Brown, yes, I am a huge fan of Derren Brown. I'm actually going to see him in July. Me and Kelly are.
Lucky.
We're going to talk about the ride itself. It opened in 2016. It was. It didn't have the greatest start when it first opened. Everything just went terribly wrong with it all. I don't know why. Probably technical issues or staff issues, because obviously staff are part of the ride itself. Overall, you've ridden it for the first time last year. Yeah. What did you reckon to it? Did you enjoy it?
So obviously I haven't been on a horror ride, so it was a bit all over the place. I got a bit scared, but it's a lot of fun to ride.
Yeah, pretty much. If you've never ridden Derren Brown Ghost Train, it's my ghost train. It's pretty much a virtual reality experience where pretty much you go onto this train, this underground, and there will be spoilers in this, just to give you a heads up. So if you haven't ridden it, just click further on into our next subject. But however, you kind of go into this Victorian big giant carriage where you are greeted there with staff. You put on this VR experience, this VR set, and it's good. What I like about it the most is that everyone's experience is different.
Yeah.
Like, I had a woman on mine in the virtual reality, and then did you have a bloke on yours? I think it could have been vice versa.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
Oh, it's brilliant. The whole experience lasts for about 15 minutes, it does. I actually, and I'm going to be blatantly honest when I say this, I really enjoyed it. I love the concept of it. It's something that I've never experienced ever. Like I say, you sit in this carriage, you've got this this virtual reality headset on, and then you feel like you're moving, and you're watching this like a 5 or 6 minute clip, and then then you come off it. You're told to get off because of the deadly gases. What's happening at underground, and as you're coming off, you turn around, and the Victorian carriage, what you just actually entered into, is now turned into the underground carriage, which is a really clever concept of how that works. It's a lot of mirrors in that and a lot of pulleys. The only thing what I don't like about it is your headsets. Now, I've got a PSVR, you've got a PSVR,
yes.
And the whole thing of feeling immersed into it is if wherever you move, it moves with you. There is some jangly bits in that where you turn to your left, but then for some reason what you're seeing turns to the right, and it can make you feel a bit nauseous and a bit sick. That's my only downfall about it. Also that you lose the sound quality as well.
I lost my sound.
Did you lose your sound? Yeah, I must admit, not many people, probably one person out of 10 probably gets a good experience through the whole lot, which is a shame really, because I love the concept of this, you know, the reinvented of the ghost train. And now, you know, some people come away going, well, that was awful. I didn't even, you know, I had to take my helmet off or my virtual reality helmet off and use someone else's. So now you've completely lost the immerse of the entire ride itself, which is a shame really, because I love it. I love the concept of the whole fact of you got this VR, it's horror inside of it all, and you got things jumping out at you. You've been told by real people to get up, get out, and you do this other section. Overall, was you slightly scared when you went, or was it just the build up to it?
The build up definitely was towards it. I will admit I did get a bit scared, but obviously it was a lot of fun, and I definitely did joke around with it.
We all discussed it, and I think that's what it's meant to do anyway, is that when you come off the ride, you all chat about it, your own experiences and stuff. The only thing, when you first actually go into the ride, you have this pre-show where you do see Derren Brown there in front of you with the chair and stuff, and he talks to you and blah, blah, blah. And then you walk up these stairs, and then you're greeted with this, I'm assuming a conductor or something like that, a train conductor. And you're just waiting there for ages. And you're thinking, come on, hurry up. And then he's slightly opening the door just to make sure that it's good to go, it's good to go, it's good to go. And so it kind of like loses that, you know, the immerse in it all. Then obviously when you do go through the door and you do see that wonderful carriage suspended off the floor with these big giant chains, what was your first experience when you saw that? Was it like, wow, this is...
Yeah, my heart was definitely pumping.
Yeah, was it?
Because I knew from there, like, okay, I'm putting on the VR headset in a minute.
And this is the thing, you are on your own. You know, you do horror, horror mazes or, I don't know, horror rides, and someone is sat next to you. But when you got virtual reality, that's you. You are the only person there, technically, in your eyes. But yeah, would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely go on it.
Definitely. I can't believe how much it costs actually. It cost £16 million to make. 16 million pounds.
Jeez, that's
and like I said, it took 3 years to actually plan everything about it. And Derren Brown himself was slightly hands-on on the entire ride itself. What do you reckon then near the end?
Oh, so what, after the VR?
Yeah, after the VR, then you go into a shop.
Oh,
do you remember that bit?
Yeah. Well, I was just standing there, and all of a sudden some weird things start moving. And then my brother Regan pulled me back, and he's like, just wait. I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden something just jumps up at you.
Oh, it's brilliant. What it is pretty much, it's a fake shop. Like I said, there is spoilers in this. So there is a fake shop where you go into, and it's things start to shake, and you're thinking, right, okay, then this is weird. But as you're walking, there's like a stage with a big giant projector map of like a Ouija board with railings around it. So everyone's, and I've been on it a few times. So I was trying to make people who haven't been on it closer to that stage. And then what happens is all the lights go out, and then this big giant monster appears from nowhere and starts like attacking the people in the shop. And then all of a sudden lights go back on again, and then that monster's disappeared. I absolutely love that concept. It's brilliant.
It's a lot of fun, actually.
It is. But overall, would you give Derren Brown a thumbs up or a thumbs down, would you say?
100% a thumbs up. It's an incredible ride, and you guys should definitely go on it. Even if you're not a big fan of horror, it's definitely a ride you should go on.
I must admit, yeah, when I first heard about it, this VR experience, and it's quite scary, I'm not going to lie to you, I was nervous. I didn't even do Resident Evil in the VR, and we've just been playing the Doctor Who Weeping Angels in VR. God. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. So if I can do Derren Brown, I'm sure you guys will be perfectly fine doing Derren Brown. You've got to do it for the experience. And even Kelly has said she would go on it. However, though, she wouldn't do it with the headset. I know it sounds like, well, what's the point? She just wants to come along and just see our reactions. And you can do that if you want to, instead of being waiting outside the ride for about an hour, because it does pick up some big cues. You can actually queue up and actually come on the ride. However, you don't have to wear the virtual reality headset. You can just sit there like on the train and see it all, pretty much what's going on, which is really good actually. To be fair, you know, not left on the sideline or anything.
Or at the exit.
Or at the exit, pretty much. But overall, I definitely would give Derren Brown a thumbs up. I know it got completely slated when it first opened. I don't understand why. I thought it was a fantastic addition to the park itself from Thorpe Park. And the fact of you got Derren Brown as well, you know, hosting it or created it and stuff is just an absolute bonus. But overall, yes, you give Derren Brown a thumbs up. I'll give Derren Brown a thumbs up. So make sure you ride it if you are in the Thorpe Park area. Okay, our next subject is...
No, actually, we missed this last week, which is the reason why we put it in. Is at Portaventura, and it is Sesame Street.
Because of Portaventura.
Oh, yes, he's got to do that. Is Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. I was never a big fan when I was a kid of Sesame Street.
Never watched it.
No, I think it's a huge American thing anyway. Sesame Street is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well, one of the reasons why we wanted to hit the Sesame Street was the new ride what opened in April 2019 last year, which was Sesame Street Street Mission. That's right, I said that right. Sesame Street Street Mission.
I said Secret Mission in the video a lot.
Is it Secret Mission?
No, I said Secret Mission.
It is Sesame Street Street Mission then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kept saying Secret Mission.
Secret Mission. The area itself is amazing how they've done it and stuff. I mean, like the set pieces, they've got characters what come out every 5 minutes. Visually, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. Everything's bright, colourful. They've got it down to a T, Sesame Street. They've got roller coasters. I think they've got one roller coaster. I think it's called. Is it the Timmy, whatever it's called?
Tammy.
Is it Tammy? Is it?
Yeah.
They've got a roller coaster there, which we didn't ridden, unfortunately. However, yeah, Sesame Street area. Just give you a heads up in Portaventura. It's absolutely heaving in there. It's packed. It's a bit like CBeebies Land over here, or Peppa Pig World at Portman's Park. These little kid areas, they do generate big crowds, which is great. You know, it's great for that. You know, keeping the park alive and stuff. We did. You guys did the Magic Fish.
Yeah.
It's some kind of like how to explain it. Well, how would you explain it?
It's more of it's a spinny ride.
Yeah.
Where like you kind of have a wheel and you can spin it, and it like kind of like swerves along.
So you got a wheel on the actual ride?
Yeah, but it's not the best. And then and you also get a bit wet.
You get a bit wet.
Yeah, you get a little bit wet. Not too
I know, it
much.
kind of flips you, doesn't it? It's like a circular, it flips you. It did look quite fun, actually. Even my mother was like, oh, I don't mind having a go on that. But it does take big crowds, that one does, for the queue lines. They've got a huge soft play area outside. Because we spent a good hour and a half on that playground.
Yeah, because I do remember vlogging it.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I'm trying to think what else they've got. They had this at Europa Park. They've got like a tower where it's a drop tower, but you've got to pull yourself up. I've never understood rides like that. That just seems like a lot of work.
No,
I just want to get on a ride and enjoy it. I don't want to be operating the ride itself. It's pretty much you all sit down there. I think it holds 2 or 3 or whatever, and then you get like a lever and you pull yourself up.
Yeah.
And then you let go and it actually dropped out. Don't get me wrong, for the kids, it's wonderful. It's great. However, though, I think stuff like that, it's just far
I just rather just go on a drop tower where I don't have to do anything.
Oh, this is it, you know. What else is at Sesame Street?
So obviously you have the...
Sorry, I'm just having a sneaky...
You had the Street Mission.
Oh, Street Mission, the new ride, what opened...
2019, I think.
2019, was it April? I think it was. I know it was newish.
Yeah, very new.
Wow. Incredible. That's all I can say. We've done a lot of dart rides where they use kind of trackless, it is. So you can't pretty much see the track. However, the car itself moves. A bit like if people have been to Universal Studios, where Universal Studios use it a lot, like in Spider-Man or Transformers as well. They use it in there. This here, I'm not saying it's exactly like that. It's a cheaper I don't like using the word cheaper version because it did cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's just like a step down from that. But overall, I loved it. I loved the minute where you queuing up.
And then you kind of like walks past and it starts talking.
Yeah,
and
you see that silhouette.
it's like somebody stole the cookies, and I think everybody would know it's the Cookie Monster.
Yeah, it's good. And then yeah, because you see like and this is what I love about it. It's got loads of set pieces, and it's got loads of screens as well, and it kind of like merge them together, and it's done so brilliantly. It really is. And then pretty much you're queuing up. We queued up for quite a long time actually. It did build up a lot of queues.
Yeah.
A lot of time for the queue line. I think it's something like every time we looked at it, it was like an hour and a half.
But we only queued up for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, we did it near the end of the day. We were like, you know what? Let's do it at the end of the day. Well, the big crowds have gone, and we'll hit it. Even me dad went on it, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't do like simulator rides. It makes him feel a bit motion sickness. So we got on there. We got given these 3D glasses, which I was surprised that we had 3D glasses.
Yeah, I was a bit confused.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was good. The quality was. The quality was great. It was 4K. Don't get me wrong. But when you put the glasses on, I don't know. It just didn't match up with it. It was a bit off, tiny little bit. But yeah, we got on there, and you got given this TV remote, and it's like an interactive ride, and you're there, and you got to fire out these screens.
Kind of like Hex. No,
it's nothing like Hex. Hex?
Like
what are you on about, Hex? Pretty much, you kind of fire out these screens to get scores. A bit like Jewel, that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
but with a gun. And you're firing out these screens with this TV remote. And I must admit, because it's a long ride, it's a 15-minute ride. After about 5 minutes, I'm not going to lie to you, I was bored. I was like, this is awful. This is terrible.
I enjoyed it.
But then...
because I came first.
And then we entered into the castle, and that's when it all changed on the ride itself. Pretty much, it turns into like, I don't know, you turn in onto this screen, this big giant screen, and then you're kind of going down into the dumpster, if they call it. I think it's the trash can, and you're kind of going down into it, and then your whole car is starting to move as a screen in front of you, so you feel like you're moving, and that's the bit what I'm saying is a bit like Transformers.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man. Wow. It's amazing. I mean, even I was like, this is great. And I kept looking over to my dad to make sure that he was all right, because like I say, he doesn't do that whole motion business. But he came off going, that's 10 out of 10. The technology, I remember him saying the technology in England seriously needs to catch up with Europe, because and rest of the world, because these dart rides are taking over. They're brilliant. Some of them are, and we just can't. What have we got? Jewel.
Yeah, I would literally have a theme park in England that's just dart rides.
Dart rides itself with the best technology and stuff.
Yeah.
What else could you say about Sesame Street Street Mission?
So no, nothing really.
The only thing, like I say, it's a good ride. I won't queue for more than an hour for it, and I do say that an hour, because, like I say, the set pieces are brilliant. The visuals are really, really good. The concept is spectacular. I'm so glad that they split that in two halves. That yes, you're shooting, you got to get the cookies, blah blah blah, with your remote control, and then all of a sudden you turn into like this chase race where you're in your car and you're moving around and you're trying to get it out of the way, and the whole motion of it all is amazing. It really, really is. But overall, I would definitely give Sesame Street Mission, and I'd even say Sesame Street area itself. That's another thing I forgot to say, actually. When you're in Sesame Street, they've got this big, giant tree. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember running up it.
I'm a bit confused of what it's for. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the program. I don't know, because I don't watch Sesame Street. Maybe it is part of the series itself. But I love the fact that you've got characters every 5 minutes just walking around. You got the Cookie Monster there. You got Elmo walking about. The restaurants, the food qualities it's really nice, and you get big portions. I remember one. Yeah, I remember one of them that they I can't even think what it's called now.
Well, whenever you do eat there, because there is a restaurant there, like the second you walk in and go to the left, you can watch a show as well.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, there is it's like a stage at the bottom, and then where the restaurant is, you kind of walk down, and then you can see like a stage, you can eat your food and watch a show at the same time. I mean, Sesame Street area is amazing. Yeah. I wish that we spent more time in there. If you've got little ones like 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds and stuff, they're gonna love it. And if they're massive Sesame Street fans, even better. But there you go. Make sure you go on Derren Brown, and make sure you go, if you are heading towards Portaventura, make sure you spend a few hours at Sesame Street, because it is worth it. I wish that we spent a lot more time at Sesame Street, that's for sure. But there you go. They are our subjects today. It's time for question time.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Question time. This is from Carl Rowland. He asks, now you're an experienced themester, do you still get the same buzz when you enter a park, be a new park or a old favourite?
So, like I said about Derren Brown, yes, I always get pumped up whenever I see a theme park, because the rides usually at every theme park are really good.
Yeah.
And it always pumps you up and gets you ready for the day.
I know where he's going at with this one. Like Alton Towers, yes, I go there a lot, and yes, you do lose that kind of magic. The same way if you go to Disneyland Paris, when you first see the castle, when you look at it, and if you go all the time, you're just like, oh yeah, there's the castle. However, though, as a vlogger, I take more in than I used to. I used to, right, there's a ride, let's go on another one. There's a ride, let's go on another. Now it gives me time to go around, get some different angles, shoot some footage, and look at it properly, and then talk about it. Actually, generally, let's digest into this ride itself or the park itself. But I know where he's going at with that. Now I take a lot more equipment when I go to theme parks than I did before.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes stress out where I'm like, oh my god, the battery's on 1% and I need to hurry up and finish this vlog. But yeah, I think Europa Park, I loved it, and I think if I go again, I don't think I'd ever lose that, because it's such a magic. And I suppose every time you go, especially with you guys, it'll be a different experience, because now I want to see it through your eyes and see what it's like for you. But you know, I can see where he's coming from. Alton Towers, 100%. Yes, I've completely lost the buzz for Alton Towers. You know, it's a good theme park. You know, and I would advise people to go to it if people have never been. But yeah, I like to go to new parks and really look into it, and just get a completely different perspective of when I see a new ride for the first time, especially when I ride one. But yes, thank you, Carl, for your question. I like that question.
Yes,
that's a good question, that is. What's your question, my friend?
Okay, so this is from Nigel Greenwood.
Hey, Nige.
And he asks, do you think having fast passes available at theme parks is a good idea, or should everyone queue the same?
I don't think there should be fast passes at all. Europa Park, and I keep referring back to Europa Park.
Good park.
They don't have fast passes. I think what Disneyland has it spot on, where you use your ticket and you scan, and then you go to that ride at a certain time. That's spot on. They've got it then, so everyone else can go to different places around the park, and it spreads everyone out a bit. Over here in this country, they've got it all backwards. You could queue up a lot longer on a fast pass than you can actually do in a normal queue sometimes. It's funny you said this, Nigel, because I'm actually doing a special video where me and Lewis were going to be buying a fast pass on a very busy day, and let's just see how many rides we can actually go on on a busy day using fast passes, and if it's worth the money. So watch out for the video for that. But overall, I don't think fast passes, if you are going to use fast passes, they've got to do it like Disney. I think Disney got it spot on. In fact, they used to do it years ago, because I remember now looking at Galactica, they had like a shed where you get your ticket and it will give you a time. I remember seeing it. The shed's still there at Galactica. I think it's got lockers there now or something. But yeah, they need to refer back to it, because I don't believe spending ridiculous amount of money on fast passes
is worth it.
I don't think it is worth it, honestly. You know, we've done it before, and we have bought fast passes where we went to Ferrari Land. And it is expensive. You think, gosh, man, I've just spent, it's expensive to get into the park, and now I've got to, you know, the food on top of it's expensive, and now I've got to pay fast passes because it's really busy. It's just, yeah. I don't like it. I love the fact that Europa Park have said, listen, we're not doing fast passes in this park, so your operations, you've got to be on it. You've got to be quick. We've got to get all these people on this ride. And I tell you what, some of the rides, they don't even stop. And then you're off the ride and they're getting the next ones on. And then it's off again. That's how I love Europa Park for its timing. It's brilliant. Haley can vouch me for this. But yeah, with Alton Towers and Thorpe Park and stuff, fast passes, it's a big no-go. I don't agree at all having fast passes.
Is there fast passes at Thorpe Park?
Yeah, fast passes at Thorpe Park, yeah. And they're expensive. They're ridiculously expensive.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is it for episode number 6 on Off the Tracks. We do hope you've enjoyed it. As always, make sure you can follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, you can comment below this video. Thank you once again to the people who fired the questions, Carl, and I forgot the other name. Nigel. Thank you so much for throwing your questions at us today. That is it to them. We do hope you've enjoyed once again. So from me, Danny,
and Lewis,
thank you for watching Theme Park Family. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.